it or not?
Ding!
Oh! Welcome in, no intro, the latest episode of that SEC podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bratton. Go by SEC Mike on the Twitters. And there he is, everybody's favorite cousin Shane. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Oh, I'll tell you what's going on, Shane. Just the best damn week of SEC football that's ever been put on paper. 8 conference games. It's never been done. Maybe never again. Not this year, anyway. You know what?
No, absolutely not. It's locked and loaded, so we ain't got shit to do this weekend but sit there and watch some college football. And I'm pumped up, brother. I'm absolutely pumped up. And I'm going through these picks. You know, this is the crazy part, Mike. Every single game, I'm like, yeah, this feels like a close one. Yeah, no, this feels like a close one. You know, it's like I can't have more than one Morristown Honda. So I feel like we're in for a wild, wild weekend of not just great SEC football, but I feel like there's going to be several of these games coming down to the wire.
Yeah, and here's an update, Shane. Last week, not the best week. Dead last in the pick'ems. Shout out Mike A. He got 6 right, so the Cousins still got the overall lead with 63 correct games picked. Steven, undefeated, perfect, last in the assassin, 7 for 7 last week, so he's in second place with 62. Shane's coming around the rear, 61, and then I think I'm just stuck down here at 60. So, hey, this week, Shane.
Yeah.
We got Leonard's to God, a.k.a. Michael DeJesus. So he's made some bold picks here.
Yeah.
Either the Cousins, I feel like they're going to pull ahead for good, or they're going to come back down to the pack. So we'll reveal that here in a little bit, but it's a little teaser.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it because I don't feel like I've got these right. I'm either Mike, going to make some substantial ground in the rankings, or I'm going to be left behind. That's kind of how I feel about these picks. Some of them are a little bold myself.
Right. So, just based on the pick'ems, Shane, you're going to want to go over to MyBookie. MyBookie.ag is the website, promo code SEC. Listen to the Cousins. Fade my ass. And you're going to be a winner over here at MyBookie. So go check them out. Presenting sponsor of us this football season, MyBookie.ag. And most importantly, don't forget that promo code SEC for a buyback guarantee up to $500 over at MyBookie. What's that, Shade? Well, I'll tell you what it is. Let's say you put in $50 over at MyBookie.
Yeah.
And you lose that 50 this weekend listening to me. Well, MyBookie's going to give you that 50 right back in your account so you can keep on playing with that buyback guarantee with that promo code SEC.
I like it.
If you don't lose it, you win, you can cash out your money. You know what?
Where do you go with that cashed money, Mike?
Tennessee legend! Come on, buddy!
Yeah, that's right. I'm empty. I told you I got to get over there. Tomorrow's the last day. I got to get over there and talk to the Cousins. If you're in town, be sure to stop by the Sevierville locations or the Nashville location. Let them know that Cousin Shane and Cousin Mike sent you over. Not only are you going to get a discount, but you're going to get an additional gift. And if you're out of the state and you said, hey, I want some, I'm telling you, man, this peanut butter, it's empty for a reason, Mike, because it's fantastic. And if you want some of it on your shelves, be sure to tell your local distributor and have them sent to them. And if you do, be sure to take a picture and send it to us, and you could be this week's Tennessee legend.
Wait a second, Shane. You're telling me you got a problem pacing yourself when it comes to food and drink? Come on, I don't believe that.
Yeah, it's just started, It's not been my entire life. It's just here lately. I always heard pace wins the race, but, man, I sprinted to the bottom of this bottle, Mike.
Oh, shout out Steven Up. Gave us $50 Shane for them Crimson Tide. Although I don't know if you won it this week, Shane.
Oh,
Boys showing up for them boys in Tuscaloosa. It's Steven Up. Roll Tide.
Thank you, Steven Up. And Michael Riley gave us $2. If Billy's fired this week, do I get to pick next? The next couple of weeks we got pickers, Michael Riley. But if you reach out to us, that SEC podcast at gmail.com, I'll put you on the list. We'll get you in here. But
I'm looking forward to it. That $50. That'd buy a lot of cigars, won't it? Some cheap cigars.
Ooh.
So all my friends can smoke them after we beat them Tide.
All right, Shane. Hey, another proud partner we've been partnered with many years. PrizePicks, go check them out. Maybe you don't want to wager on the games. Maybe you don't want to wager on the over-unders. Maybe you just want to do daily fantasy. That's what they got you over at PrizePicks. So if you go over to PrizePicks, put in the same promo code SEC, you play 5, you get 50 over at PrizePicks. And it's very simple, Shane. They have player projections. So passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, and touchdowns, things of that nature. And you just select the more than or less than. And if you're right, you win over at PrizePicks. And they got a special right now, Shane.
Uh-oh.
Steph Curry, half a point in the opener. Come on. So you already got one guaranteed.
Yes.
I don't think we're allowed to say guaranteed, but pretty much if he scores 1 point, you're a winner over at PrizePicks. So right there's you a free square. And I'm about to give you a couple other winners. Shane, are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Now, I've been ice cold, so you may want to fake.
I'm writing down what not to do.
You're going to like this one, though. Tennessee tight end Miles Kitselman. 28.5 receiving. Give me the more than against Bama. He played at Bama. This game means a lot to him. And I think Tennessee will be able to have some success against these Alabama linebackers. This ain't Nick Saban's defense, Shane. This is Kalen DeBoring's defense. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not elite. Give me Miles Kitselman to get at least 29 receiving yards.
29 rookie numbers. Get it up. Get it up.
All right, how about Trinidad, Shane? Shout out Trinidad Chambliss. 250.5 pass yards against Georgia. What? Give me the less than. He ain't getting a 251. Not on them dogs. Not in Athens. How do you like that one?
Yeah, no, I'm kind of right there with you, man.
All right. And then, hey, shout out this guy. We love this guy, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Diego
Pavia.
Rushing yards, though. I'm looking at rushing here. 57.5 rushing yards against mighty LSU. Give me the less than. I don't think he gets to 58 rushing yards. I'm not saying he's going to have a bad day, but that's a lot of rushing yards against this elite defense. Thoughts on that one?
Risque. I don't know. This one I'm probably not touching just because I feel like when Pavia is playing a game that he needs, you know what I'm saying? Like he takes it to a different level. Now,
Right.
Fell on his face for Bama, but LSU, I feel like this fooled me twice. Shame on me.
Okay. Well, I may fool you here, Shane.
Okay.
Because everybody's, I think, is going to be selling this guy short. I think this is a make or break game for Carolina.
Yeah.
Give me Lenora Seller, 222.5 passing and rushing. So you get to combine the two. If he can get to 223 yards, I know Oklahoma's got a hell of a defense, but give me the more than. I think Sellers gets to 223 because I think he's putting the team on his back. I'm not guaranteeing a win or anything, but I'm saying he gets to 223 total yards.
I hate to quote Billy Napier, but we're about to pop, baby. Right? You just feel like Lenoris is about to pop. So I'm right there with you on this one. I think this is a good. Good
Okay,
pick.
And then last one I got.
There's words I'm not allowed to use. So
Give me Marcel Shane.
yeah.
272.5 yards. Now, again, this is passing and rushing. So if he can get to 273 against Arkansas and their dog shit defense,
Yeah.
I think he can get to 273 with it's unfortunate Le'Veon Moss is out, but
Yeah.
when he was slow, what'd they do? They said, well, let's just run Marcel 20 times a game. I don't think he's going to run it 20 times, but 273, if he can get to that passing and rushing, I like that for Marcel. So give me the more than.
Yeah, it's going to be hard not to. I think, too, Arkansas is going to need to be aggressive, and sometimes you whiff, and this guy's a lot faster than the last quarterback you were chasing.
Hey, they keep saying Leno and Lenosis. So they hate that one, but that's why I love it, because it's going against the grain a little bit. You know what?
Yeah, people are they're going the opposite way. They don't care what you say, Mike. They're going to pick the opposite here.
Well, I'll tell you who you shouldn't go opposite with, Shane.
Who's that?
That's our great friend, cousin James Bryant, meteorologist James Bryant. He's got over 100,000 followers on the Facebooks. He's KATV James on Twitter. Go give him a follow. He's back, Shane, with the latest weather report. And here in the middle, he's got his pick. He's been on fire with these upset picks. I think he's only gotten 1 or 2 wrong the entire season. And buddy, he's taking a little bit of a leap of faith. So hey, shout out James Bryant with the weather report here.
All right, guys, a huge week of SEC football is coming up. You look around the conference this weekend, there's not one single game where there's not a really intriguing storyline. I don't know if all the games will be really great, but I'm interested in every single game. Kind of sad that some of these games are all in the same window. It's going to be hard to keep track of everything going on. The weather's mostly good across the conference. There's one game where we got big problems, and that's in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We'll get to that one, especially if you're a traveling A&M fan. But let's start with the early games. LSU goes to Vanderbilt. And I guess it's the first time we've really been interested in an LSU versus Vanderbilt matchup. It'll be 87 and sunny during the game. Of course, a little cooler to start and much cooler for morning tailgating. But a good forecast, very warm. The storms are going to be at night after the game, long after the game. Oklahoma goes to South Carolina. That's 12:45 Eastern, 78 and sunny. That morning tailgate is in the 50s. The low in Columbia is in the low 50s. So it'll be cool to start. Let's move along to the afternoon games and staying in the Eastern time zone. It's 3:15 Central, 4:15 Eastern. Mississippi State goes to Florida. My last memory of Mississippi State, I'm a graduate of Mississippi State, going to Florida was when they went down there in 2010 and Dan Mullen figured out that he could beat Florida without having to throw a single pass. And I think they just ran the ball the entire second half in 2010. And I think the final score was like 10-7. It was boring, but it was a great win for Mississippi State. That's also my upset pick of the week is Mississippi State going down to Florida and winning. But that aside, the weather looks really good. I think we'll have temperatures right around 83 and sunny with a light breeze. The biggest game, at least by rankings of the weekend, is Ole Miss at Georgia in Athens, 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern, 79 and sunny, mostly clear skies. It's going to be very, very nice. All right, staying in the mid-afternoon time slot. Fayetteville, Arkansas. The temperatures look good, but the storms are going to be a problem. We could have storms as early as 9 or 10 a.m. Could be a couple of different rounds. I don't think it's going to rain the whole time, but there's a severe weather risk in Arkansas on Saturday. Large hail and high winds the main threat. Can't rule out a tornado, but that's not the main threat. But that window for storms in Fayetteville basically runs from 9 a.m. until 4, maybe 5 p.m. So I caution you. This is being recorded on Wednesday. Check back at the forecast. Find a local source. Check back in the forecast as we get closer to Friday and Saturday to make game day plans. But at least as of Wednesday afternoon, it looks like storms are going to initiate in the afternoon in northwest Arkansas. That gives us a high probability of a lightning delay in Fayetteville before the game can proceed. So that's a 2:30 kickoff, at least as of Wednesday. I'm betting that the kickoff is hopefully going to have to be a little bit later. If they start the game and there haven't been storms, obviously you're looking at a rain delay in the middle of the game. I think the best case scenario here is that storms get going early and they move east early before the 2:30 kickoff. In any case, if you have pregame activities, showers and thunderstorms going to be a problem. Again, some severe. I think the main severe weather threat is east of Fayetteville, but I can't rule out severe weather in Fayetteville. So that's the big-time weather issue of the weekend, and it's in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It also means I probably have to work on Saturday for most of the day, on a college football Saturday. Can you guys believe that? That's just... that's a real shame. All right, down to the evening kickoffs. Let's start in Lexington. That's 7 Eastern. Texas goes to Kentucky. I'm really interested in this one, too. Looks like the rain's going to hold off till well after the game. Again, find a local source. Check back. We're a few days out, so that timing can still change. We'll be 75 degrees at kickoff and mostly clear to start. Tennessee at Alabama. It's the third Saturday in October. The high in Tuscaloosa is 88 degrees, but it looks like we'll be right around 80 at kickoff there in Tuscaloosa. The thunderstorms coming out of Arkansas and moving into Mississippi should not reach Alabama until well after the game. So not expecting any weather issues in Tuscaloosa for this one. And then Missouri at Auburn, the last game of the day, 6:45 Central. It'll be 83 during the day for your tailgating and sunny and clear, 73 degrees at kickoff. So big weekend for us. Lots of great games around the conference. A&M fans, if you're headed to Northwest Arkansas, pay attention to the weather, especially that timing. I really hope we don't end up with any type of rain delay, but it's at least a possibility, a high possibility. So keep that in mind. Best case, I think, is those storms get out of Northwest Arkansas earlier than 2 o'clock. If not, I think we're looking at some type of delay before that game can proceed. So that's the weather report for this week. Lots of great football coming up.
All right, shout out James Bryant. Appreciate you, cuz, for the weather report. And how about that upset pick, Shane? Mississippi State beating Billy and the boys. Ooh, spicy. All right, buddy. Are you ready to make your picks?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not yet. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I was lying, but now I got him up, so I am ready now.
All right, let's go to Lexington. Night game, Shane. Mighty Texas on the road, favored by 12.5 over them Wildcats, Shane. Over-unders 44.5 total points. Game kicks off at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on ESPN. Who do you like in the ball game?
This game feels weird a little bit, right? You know, coming off that big win, and you feel like Texas is just going to have you ever get on one of them electric vehicles, and as soon as you let off the pedal, it almost feels like you hit the brakes. I feel like that's what's going to happen. And I'm not saying that because, Teslas are down there and there's no correlation. I don't know why I thought of it, but I feel like that's what's going to happen here with Texas is that we got excited. We're back, baby. We're back. But then there's going to be a natural ooh, wait a minute. We still got some work to do. I don't think Texas loses this game. I don't feel like Kentucky is ever really in it. However, I don't think Texas fans leave happy about this game. Is that possible that two fan bases walk away from this game being pissed off? I feel like that's what happens here. Texas gets the lead late, 28, Kentucky 10.
Hey, shout out JD's got a question for you. What time roughly will we be around Legends? He says he might make the trip.
Won't be tomorrow? Probably after lunchtime. 1 o'clock. Let's go 1. No, let's just do 1:30. I'll be there 1:30.
We said he's 4 hours away, so maybe a precise time.
Yeah.
After lunch.
Okay. All right. 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. I'll be there at the one by Target.
Okay. Well, Liquid says 1:30 means 2:45.
Damn it, Liquid.
But yeah, sorry. So back to the game. Yeah, I mean, of course, Shane, of course. If this is a sloppy win, even that, I mean, you got all this momentum.
Yeah.
But hell, even worse, Kentucky's got 2 weeks to prepare. Maybe they've got something pulled up their sleeve. Maybe they're fighting for their coach. If they can run the football. Hell, Texas, I know they had the huge win, but they still didn't show much on offense. I mean, people are like, oh my God, Arch, he's back. He's the savior again. I mean, he had nice plays. He outplayed Mateer, but that ain't saying much based on what Mateer did last week. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, this certainly could be ugly. I think Texas, man, if they lose this game, God, what does that say about Oklahoma? But no, I mean, the season's damn in the dumps again. I mean, it's still make or break, I think, for Texas every single week. So I mean, this is a huge football game, no doubt, going on the road in the SEC. Last time we saw them in the road, they were getting their ass stomped by them Gators, Shane. So, and hell, we don't even know how good the Gators could be. One of the worst teams in the conference.
Yeah.
But I know who really is the worst team. Shane, it's them Kentucky Wildcats. Come on. I set all that up to say lock of the week. Come on. Texas 24, Kentucky 9. I don't think Kentucky gets to 10 points in this football game, Shane. They could have 3 weeks to prepare for this football game. They can't score on this defense. They'll get a couple field goals, but that's it. I think they should have run Mark Stoops' ass after this one.
Junior put, Shane's setting someone up for disappointment. Listen, Linda. For sure, I am popping in there tomorrow. All right. I don't know exactly what time. But for sure, 100,000% we'll be there next Friday. So swing in there some point today or tomorrow, get your Tennessee Legend. But next Friday, 6 to 8, I think is the time frame we'll be up there. So promise I'll be up there at that time.
I thought it was this Friday.
No. It's next Friday.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay.
Shit.
I think I'm 90% sure you're wrong.
Where's Tennessee Legend at? I think it's next Friday.
Next Friday is my birthday.
Yeah.
And I would have remembered if you said the date. You said the 17th. Tomorrow's the 17th.
All right, let's hold, and then I'll get back. I'll put it on the Twitters.
Oh man, you're good at this. All right, shout out. Let's get to what you're really good at here, Shane.
Yeah.
Picking winners. How about for this one, Shane?
Yeah.
I swear I didn't do that on purpose. Florida hosting Mississippi State. Shane. Florida Gators favored by 9.5. Shout out Cousin James. He's the weatherman. He's got Mississippi State and the outright upset. Over under is 50.5 total points. This game kicks off at 4:15 Eastern, 3:15 Central on the SEC Network. How about this stat real quick, Shane? I heard this today. This will blow your damn mind.
Yeah.
Florida has not scored a single point in the fourth quarter this season since September 6th.
Ooh.
It's October 16th, brother. The last time they scored in the fourth quarter was South Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, how pathetic is that? I mean, if for no other reason, Billy should be fired for that stat.
You know what? Isn't he fired? I mean, people keep telling me he's fired, but I feel like he's coaching during this game, right? You know, this is one of the wildest football games. I don't think anybody, if Billy wasn't getting fired, would be watching this game. I hate to say it. There's a lot of great football games on Saturday, but there's going to be a lot of people checking out that Mississippi State Florida game because it may be the last time you see old Billy Napier on the sideline, right? That's the rumor. They got all the stuff together and he's out, right? But one thing about Billy, you know that old saying, you even sent it to me today, scare money don't make money. I don't remember who said that. But I feel like Billy kind of knows this, right? Dead man walking. Yeah. So does that locker room. The locker room ain't dumb. But I will say something about that football team. They absolutely love each other. This is a player's coach, and I don't think Billy keeps his job, but I do feel like they give everything they have one last time. This is Florida's Super Bowl, and unfortunately, Mississippi State's going to be on the brunt end of that because they're doing great, right? I feel like a bye week was important. They're going to get back on track, but unfortunately, I feel like they're walking straight into a dangerous buzzsaw with a coach that has nothing to lose, right? This is a lock of the week. I can't believe we're talking upsets and close games and whatever. No, this is going to be the one game you're going to scratch your head and say, well, why didn't you play like that the rest of the time, Billy? Give me Florida Gators big here. 42, Mississippi State 14.
Oh, why do you hate the cowbell, Shane?
I don't. But I tell you, Mississippi State would have played Florida week 2. Mississippi State probably would have won this thing. Yeah. But the fact they're walking into this, Billy being his last game, them players are going to give everything.
Right. And hell, I mean, Florida's playing better.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but, that's what happens when you go on the road and play in elite Texas A&M. That's what happens when you go on the road and play Miami, who's allegedly elite. I don't know. I don't watch him. But, maybe that disguises. And I think the biggest surprise of this football season, Shane.
Yes.
Is like the 180 you've done with these damn Gators. I don't know where it came from, but you were out. They're going to be horrible. And then they started losing all these games. And you said, you know what? This is a hell of a football team. So that's blowing my mind. You're right, 100%. They've got Kiffin on the mind. Hell, can we get Signetti? And shout out that guy.
Not anymore.
Yeah, he just got a contract extension. I'm sure most of you saw it. He's getting $11.6 million a year now from Indiana. So I just, in a joke, Shane, I said, well, all that tells me is he's going to Florida for $12 million. And people are like, yeah, you think so? They're like buying hook, line, and sinker on these stupid jokes I have. So, yeah, everybody is focused on the next coach. But I think you hit on something important there, Shane. That damn locker room. He's not lost the locker room.
Yeah.
And I think all this fuel, I'm sure they're hearing it, and I'm sure it's somewhat of a distraction. But I think for a team that loves their coach and is still going to, I'm not saying he's a good coach, but they're going to fight their ass off for him. And I do think Mississippi State's a little bit of a dangerous team here. Rested. I think their scheme matches up well with Florida if they can get some momentum. I think Florida could be in some trouble defensively, but hell, defense is the strongest thing Florida's got going right now. So as long as DJ Lagway doesn't implode, which we have seen him do, but I think he's healthier and he's playing better, and he's getting some of these weapons back. Jaden Ball's running like a man possessed. I like your pick, Shane. Not as large as you say. I still like Florida to cover. Remember, it's only 9.5 point spread. Give me Florida 30. Give me Mississippi State 20. So I think Florida covers, but just barely.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good game for Florida fans, but you're going to be torn because you're going to, and I feel like there's a couple of teams like this. Auburn's another one, which we'll get to in a minute. It's just like good teams. Like, I feel like these teams have gotten better throughout the season, yet it's not showing up in the win-loss columns.
They say,
well,
hey,
the loss columns it is.
Shane was high on Auburn too. What happened?
Hey, you read my mind. Not all great teams are undefeated, you know?
Well, neither are these two, Shane. Shout out Oklahoma on the road at South Carolina. Must win, I think, for both these programs. Early one. They're in Columbia. The Sooners, Shane, favored by 5.5 points. The over-under is 43.5. 12:45 Eastern, 11:45 Central Time on SEC Network. Who do you like in the ball game?
Man, this is a game. I literally flipped the score 5 minutes before we got on. That's how confident I am in this football game. I mean, look at the footballs, Mike. Look at all the damn football. I mean, it doesn't take I could bring a 4-year-old in here and say, hey, pick which team you think's better. They're going to pick the one with all the footballs, right?
Right.
And that's what I didn't do initially. I picked with my gut. I felt like Shane Beamer, you talked about both coaches need this. I agree they both need it, but I feel like there's one that needs it even more, and that's Coach Beamer. That's these South Carolina Gamecocks. That's these fans. This place will be it will be full. It'll be there. I mean, hell, even my brother's flying in from Hawaii to watch this game. You know what I'm saying? There'll be plenty of fanfare there, and they'll be pumped up. You talk about Lenoris Heisman. Well, I don't know we can call him that anymore, but you know, that quarterback for South Carolina, that's pretty damn good, and I feel like he's getting better as the season progresses. We finally discovered a little bit of the running game last week. I felt like the defense, you know, when you look at crucial turnovers in the red zone, there was some efficiencies there, and I thought this is the progress that we were hoping to get. Beamer tells you we were at this point this time last year, and we went on a winning streak, right? We went on and to almost make the college football playoffs. I don't think it happens this time, Mike. I don't. I feel like when I rewatch that Texas-Oklahoma game, yes, John Mateer was not 100%. Not physically. Physically, I think he was good, but I think mentally he wasn't there yet. He needed that game. Now, it's not going to be easy going over here to William Bryce and get a win. In fact, I told you I just flipped this score, but I think that it happens on this one, Mike. The only reason it wouldn't is if they get one-dimensional again and they make John Mateer the leading rusher of this football team. If that happens, they lose. But if they can finally get some running going, and I think they get a little bit during this matchup, I've got Oklahoma winning 28, South Carolina 20, really close football game.
How about Cousin Tim? He says, Carolina 3, Oklahoma 2.
Yes.
Yeah, which team can run the football?
Yeah.
Because neither one really can. Now, Carolina just fired offensive line coach, put in Sean Elliott.
Yeah.
Will that be a difference? You know, that I've been kind of weighing that all week myself, Shane. Which John Mateer shows up? Which Lenore Sellers shows up? Man, I don't know. If you could guarantee me Mateer does not turn the ball over, I think I like Oklahoma in this game.
Yeah.
If you could tell me that Lenore Sellers, though, continues his progression and continues to run for his life, but has success doing so against this Oklahoma front, I like Carolina. I think Carolina really got screwed here with this not being a night game.
Yeah.
I think that could have really helped things, Shane. Sometimes going on the road, early games, I think that really at times favors the road team here. So that's something I'm heavily considering myself. Man, I'm just kind of torn and torn and torn.
It does feel like one of those games, Mike. Doesn't it? Or does it? Oh, God.
I think it does, Shane. I think it does. Oh, man. Give me Oklahoma 20, South Carolina 24. We're pulling the upset at home. We're saving the season, Shane. I don't feel great about it. Yeah. I'm like you. I've been flip-flopping all week, but I don't know. I think it's Cocktober. I think it is, Shane. So give me them Cocks to beat down the Sooner. Not really beat down, but beat them somehow, some way, some kind of tricky something going down. You know what?
Was there any part of you that did this to get back in the cousin list? Like, I've got to pull off a few upsets, or deep down inside, you just did it? Because for me, it changed this week. I felt like this was one that kind of went back and forth, and then I just revisited some of the last week's games, and I just said, you know what, if they would have played this week, what would have happened? Not kind of like your power rankings, you know?
I don't switch it based on who other people are picking. I don't think that's the right way to do it. I just think I'm going home team. I'm going the one team that is making the staff changes. Hell, for all we know, firing the offensive line coach, maybe that'll be a disaster. But at least Carolina's trying something.
Yeah.
What is Oklahoma trying? Again, I'm not saying they're not trying, but they're doing the same thing over and over. And what if the material we saw last week, I hope that's not the one we're getting for the rest of the season, and I'm sure it's not, but are we convinced that he's just 100% now?
Yeah.
I'm not. He could still be banged up a little bit. So I don't know. Home team, better quarterback. They're equally desperate. Yeah. I don't know how to have faith in either one of these teams. But you know who I do got faith in?
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, Rolls Royce. Good evening, friends. I hope everyone had a great day and one day closer to football. Too bad I'm working all weekend in the engine room. Come and join me, Shane. Can't bring beer, but you could bring some tools and a frozen pizza.
It's not you, it's me.
All right, how about this one, Shay? This could be a really fun game. We got Texas A&M, the Fighting Aggies, Shane, on the road at Arkansas. Not used to playing in Fayetteville, but we'll see if that turns the fortunes of them Razorbacks. A&M favored by 7.5 points. The over-under 60.5 total points. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ESPN. Who do you like in this one?
I love the undefeated team, right? I mean, that's what I'm supposed to pick. But if Bobby P rolls in on that football field riding a Harley Davidson, I mean, this place could erupt. And then all of a sudden, Arkansas's back, right? Hot Rod sent me a message on that. I was like, I don't know if that's going to happen. But I do think that this is an Arkansas team that showed a lot of fire and passion last week. And, what does that do going back home? Do you say, well, shit, we gave it a good shot. You know what I'm saying? Or do you say, hey, we were this close to knocking off a ranked team on the road? You want to talk about, a rally cry. Could you imagine just beating undefeated Texas A&M? This is a team that is supposed to win, right? This is a team that potentially going to the playoffs. We're talking about how many yards Marcel Reed's going to get. We're talking about, we're down to running back. Who cares? We got 5 others to go out here. It's Arkansas can't defend anything. That feels like the narrative, but this is a really, really good offensive football team with Arkansas, and if this gets to a shootout, I would say Arkansas wins. but I don't think it gets to a shootout. Okay? I don't think it gets to a shootout. I think there's moments in the game it gets close, and thank God it doesn't for those Aggies, because I got Aggies barely winning this game 35, Arkansas 28. There'll be a couple scary moments in this game. Aggie fans, get ready. I seen it firsthand. I've been behind enemy lines. Third quarter, there's going to be a moment where it's either tied or you're down, and you're saying, fire them all, get rid of them. We got it. No, just hang in there. I feel like Elko's your guy, and he's going to prove it to you, and he's going to out-coach Bobby P in this game.
Right. Well, you know, as you were talking, it made me think of last season.
Yeah.
It was so reminiscent of Tennessee going to Arkansas.
Yeah.
And Arkansas nearly knocked Tennessee out of the playoffs. I mean, at the time, it was like, ooh, there goes Tennessee's shot to make the playoff. Of course, we know what happened. But, yeah, I mean, it very well could do the same here, Shane. Could do the same. Again, and again, I don't want to think like this because it's negative, and we can't even question some things. People get so upset, Shane. But if you recall last year, I know it's a completely different year, different season and everything, but when Le'Veon Moss got hurt last year, what happened to A&M? They went in the tank, brother. So, again, I'm not saying that will happen, but I am concerned that could happen this week in Fayetteville. Getting this game at home, this would be the game, as Nick Roush predicted, Shane, they could really get old Bobby P some support with it. Well, hell, he's already got all the support, but could get the support with the people that actually matter that could get him the job, because they hate A&M down there, because this is one of those teams that's a thorn in their side. They just can't beat them. You know what? But, hey, the footballs too, Shane. They say, I mean, this could be a competitive football game. I was expecting it to be one-sided, but not so much here. I think this is a complete coin toss game, Shane.
Yeah.
And actually, I think it comes down to the very, very end. And give me Bobby P to ride on in to another impressive loss. Texas A&M 30, Arkansas 27. They lose by 3. They cover, but that's about all you can expect from when you're playing an elite team. You know what?
It does feel a little like, I'm not clearly I'm not an Aggie fan, but there's a part of you that says, I can feel it. I can feel that little nervous tension coming into this game. So, I think it's going to be exciting. It'll be probably one of the funnest games to watch this weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it could be. And then here's another one, Shane, I think could go right down to the wire. How about the Missouri Tigers, Shane, going on the road after suffering their first loss of the season at Auburn, who's still searching for their first conference win. Auburn opened as the favorite, but Missouri is now favored on the road by 1.5 points. The over-under, 43.5 total points, 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central on the SEC Network. So this is the late game of the day, Shane. Who do you like here? Missouri at Auburn.
Oh, man. How does Mizzou bounce back, right? I mean, that was an emotional loss. That was I think there are goals in Columbia to take this thing to that next level. You talked about coaches that are not must-wins, but must produce. It feels like Drink's kind of in that spot. I'm not saying he's getting fired. I'm just saying we keep throwing his name around elite names. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but eventually you're going to have to take this team to the next level. And honestly, 2025 definitely feels like the season. And I feel like last week too, that was a moment for them to fix some of those growing pains. You made mistakes. You got one-dimensional. But when you gave Bo the opportunity late in the game, and I know it ended with an ugly interception, but there were moments where you're saying, hey, we don't need to be one-dimensional. And because if Mizzou stays that way, Auburn's they're going to kick their ass. That's just how I feel like it's going to happen. Now, Auburn, how do you bounce back? You talk about an emotional roller coaster. Jeez. I mean, they got to be taking some classes down there because I don't think mentally I would be prepared to, like, how are we going to lose this one? You know, that's kind of the mentality I think Auburn fans are having. I'm sure it's in the locker room as well. Auburn has had a lot of good things happen, but a lot of boneheaded mistakes that we keep pointing back to Hugh Freeze. So this is a big game, Mike. I feel like this is a huge, huge game for Hugh Freeze. I'm not saying he loses his job for this, but he can still back some of that fan love if he can get a ranked win at home. And it ain't happening, right? It ain't happen. Oh, wait, no. It is happening. I've got Auburn 24, Mizzou 21. Give me them Tigers by 3, baby.
Wow, Auburn. Well, yeah, I forgot you're all in on it.
Oh, man. Drink's out here interviewing for jobs. You know, the assistant coaches over in Arkansas. No, I'm not saying that happened, but I do feel like Hugh Freeze has the job he wants, and he's about to lose it if he don't get a big win, and this is the week they do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I forgot. I forgot you got Auburn in the playoffs, so it's got to start here, right? So, yeah, no, I that makes complete sense. Now, again, we're 2 plays away and a bad call from being undefeated or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This truly is one of the better rosters in the country and one of the best defenses.
Yes.
The problem is, Shane, they got pieces on offense, but they can't put it together for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
We need Jackson Arnold to force the issue. I saw somebody they were putting out a graphic. They were like hyping up Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
Which again, we don't sit around and bash the players, and I'm not intending to bash him, but while that's good, right? He has no interceptions. He should have about 6. He's had about 6 dropped, but he has none. So we got to give him credit for that. But that's not always good because you remember. I don't know if you recall this, Shane, but I think it was the first year Jaden Daniels at LSU.
Yeah,
he had some insane like 13 touchdowns, 1 interception. I remember Brian Kelly was getting on his ass, and you're like, what? How could you be getting on him? Because you're being overly protective with the football. And Auburn needs you to be not careless. They were careless with the football last year, and it killed them. But we need our quarterback to we've got such good receivers.
Yeah.
You've got to throw these guys open. That's how Bama beat Missouri last week because a lot of in a lot of those key situations, the receiver was covered.
Yeah.
But there is no defense for a perfect pass and a great catch. And they got the athletes to make these catches, and I believe Jackson Arnold's got the talent in him to make those throws, but he's got to do it. He's got to get a little risky. He's got to let it loose, so to speak.
Yes.
I think that'll be critical, not only in this game, but the rest of the season for them Auburn Tigers. Backs against the wall. I think Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts against this Auburn front 7. I think that's the key to the game, though.
Yes.
Because if Missouri can get this ground game going, like they didn't have much of an opportunity to do last week. I think they would have won last week. I think if they get it done this week, I think that's how they win this one. But it's the Jackson Arnold revenge game, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Mizzou 24, Auburn 20. I picked you last week, Auburn, and you broke my heart. You should have been up 17-0. I was looking like a damn genius. You made me look like the damn fool that I am. I'm never picking Hugh Freeze to win another meaningful game ever in his career. And I know you're picking Auburn, Shane.
Yes.
But if they lose and they go 0-4 in conference play for the 3rd consecutive season, hell, he's only been there 3 years.
Yes.
I mean, you can't bring this guy back. He's losing
This
the
was
first
the
4
year.
games every year, right?
You know, we gave you 3 years back in the day when you had to build a roster. Now you can go buy one, and we're
And they
still.
did.
And they exactly, they put all that money in, and they probably should have saved a little for officiating, if you know what I mean. Maybe that's what they didn't get any Chick-fil-A bags this summer. So, but I say that to say this, Mike. In this day and age, if you can't get it by year 3, then you're out. So yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
And I mean, the excuse now is the refs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always a damn excuse.
Yes. But there was opportunities.
Right.
You know, you can't. I get it. I said it and I vented it and we talked about it all last week about, poor old Auburn. But let's not forget that what did you do in the second half? The officiating didn't get out there and drop balls. The officiating didn't cause sacks, So I feel like there's sometimes you just going to have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? That one was on me. It shouldn't have came down to one or two calls. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say you didn't get screwed because you absolutely did. And going up 17-0. But if we're still talking about that in the prediction game, you know what I said? What are we doing? That's the only reason I am super worried about this game is because we're still talking about it. Hell, the AD probably just fired off another email to the SEC.
All right, how about this one, Shane? What a game here this could be. LSU at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt favored. What? Over number 10 in the country? Yes, that you heard that correctly. Vanderbilt favored by 2.5 points over LSU at home. For over under 49.5 total points. Noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central on ABC. Who do you like in this one, Shane?
Oh, man. I wish I didn't even have to pick this one, Mike, because what am I doing? I would never in 43 years ever pick LSU to lose to Vanderbilt. Yet I'm convinced they can lose to Vanderbilt because to beat Vanderbilt, in my opinion, I feel like you've got to have an explosive offense. You've got to have the ability to get points in a hurry, and LSU has all the pieces for that. They just haven't got points in a hurry all season long. And you talk about excuses. Coach Kelly keeps coming out here and saying, well, Nuss is healthier, right? But he's got to work on his decision-making. He's getting to it like he's been off the football field. I mean, Nuss has been there the entire time. LSU fans are ticked off because they feel like they're wasting this amazing defense they have. And this could be a game that ends 6-3. Would not blow my mind. It's like whoever has the time of possession in this game is probably winning it. And I should pick Vanderbilt. I just can't. Maybe it's muscle memory. I don't know. Maybe I just can't. I just can't.
You got steps on the line.
I know. It's funny the other day, me and my wife were talking about, like when I was younger, I could get out of bed and go jog. I used to jog back in the day, right? I used to go work out back in the day. Wasn't a problem to get up in the morning, like in the 20s, 18, in the late teens. Let's not get too carried away. Yeah. I mean, it was a small window, but there was a window, right? Now I can lay everything out. I can put my socks, the shoes, everything ready to just walk out the door, just walk around the neighborhood for 30 minutes, That alarm goes off 7 in the morning. I'm like, hell no, I ain't getting up, I mean, muscle memory. It won't let me do it. And it will not let me pick Vanderbilt. Maybe it's because, maybe that's the coordination, like the 2-mile walk now that I think about it. But I'm not going to waste time, Mike. I already have. LSU 21, Vanderbilt 17. Ooh, I just can't do it. Can't do it. It should be the other way, right? It should be Vanderbilt, but I can't do it.
Man. You know what that is, folks? That's just a man terrified of exercise, right there. And he's praying to the football gods to not let Vanderbilt win another football game. But I don't know, Shane. I don't know. I mean, I think this is legit.
Yeah.
I think this is a legit with it, Vanderbilt being favored over the number 10 team in the country. I mean, never in my life would I have thought that was a true statement, or if we were talking football, maybe a different sport or something like that. You know what? But 2 weeks to prepare, Vanderbilt legitimately does by the efficiency numbers. They got the number 8 passing efficiency in the country. They got the number 11 rushing efficiency. So we're talking a top 10 offense in the country. Now, I know LSU, elite.
Yeah.
I guess on defense. So I'm not saying they're just going to go run all over LSU or anything or throw or whatever, but I think they're going to have a lot of success. I really do. Vanderbilt on the offensive side of the football. And what is Vanderbilt's best thing on defense? Stopping the run.
Yeah.
LSU can't run to save their damn life here, Shane. So the matchups, all this makes sense. Diego Pavia, Garrett Nussmeier, who's better this year? Diego. Who's healthier? Diego. Buddy, I don't know. I think Vegas is begging and pleading by putting Vanderbilt as the favorite. They want everybody and their mother to throw the mortgage on LSU. they're pretty smart down there in Vegas, Shane.
Yeah.
They build them damn sky rises off suckers down there. And you're a sucker if you think LSU's winning this football game. Give me Vanderbilt 27. Give me LSU 24. Shane, Vanderbilt wins. Vanderbilt covers. This is a legit football team, and I don't think LSU is. Of course, I'm saying 3 point, so I'm not super confident, but I do think, because this is a turning point.
Yeah.
If LSU loses this, I think Brian Kelly's his ass is going to be gone by the end of the year.
Oh,
how about that?
Well, I was about to ask you, what would be the conversations we're having? Isn't it crazy? I mean,
unless he turns around and beats undefeated A&M, then he can get back in good graces, right?
Yeah.
But he really does need to make a playoff,
right? And I feel like you got one more mulligan, and
right.
You're saving it for either Alabama or an A&M. And if you use it during Vanderbilt, woo, buddy, it's going to be a lot of slow walking and soft singing down there in LSU after this season.
Hey, I asked Steven this. I want to ask you if big if here. Now, you don't think it happens, but it could. If Vanderbilt beats LSU, are we putting Diego Pavia back in the Heisman race?
No,
interesting.
No, Pavia ain't winning this because it's not like Southeastern Conferences who's voting on it, right? That's the crazy part. He'll win awards in this conference, but because people in Oregon, people in New York, people in Pennsylvania, they don't know who Diego Pavia is. They're not going to put him in there, even though he single-handedly is the MVP of that football team.
Right. Interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think there's an obvious candidate. So I think it's out there to be won. You know what I mean? You get in the conversation by winning these big games, I think.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're looking for those, maybe a Heisman moment. Maybe if there's a couple Heisman moments in there, possibly. Yeah. But I don't think Pavia is going to get the respect, and maybe it's muscle memory, like I was talking about earlier. Just don't. Yeah. Don't practice the kneel down, Diego. Yeah.
That would be my advice. Not that you need any from me, but and I'm a big fan. But all right, shout out Shane. The third Saturday in October, Tennessee at Alabama. The Tide, Shane, favored by 7.5 points. The over-under's 59.5. Night game, nationally televised on ABC, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Does Tennessee have Alabama's number? What? Is that even a question? It is, Shay, because they've won 2 of the last 3. And if they make it 3 of the last 4, the Boers going to be crying all night long. What do you got in this one?
Oh, man, this one's a tough one. This is where Morristown Honda originated, when you go into a game knowing you're probably going to lose, and then you just pick them winning by 1 point. And there's some things about this game that I kind of get in my head here. I'm like, Tennessee is playing. I mean, look, scoring efficiency, scoring offense, number 1, right? You can't argue how well they're playing on offense, but you can also simply look at the other side of this football and say, oh my gosh, this is an absolute train wreck. And what happens when you get a Heisman hopeful at quarterback coming in? You know what I'm saying? Is Jam playing in this one? Have you heard anything about that?
He's questionable, so we don't know yet. But that's a key.
That's
key
a big
player.
One. That's a big one because, clearly Mike Washington had a field day with this defensive front. I think Alabama can do the same. There's an opportunity, and it has to be this has to be Josh Heupel coming out of his shell, taking a double dose of that testosterone shot before he hits this football field and say, you know what? We only got one shot to smoke a cigar in this game, right? And we got to be aggressive, and we got to jump on them early. We got to force them to play the way we want to play. We got to outscore them. That's at the end of the day, that's what's going to have to happen. The problem is, I truly think that Alabama right now is the best team, not just in this conference, but in the country. Ooh. This is a potential SEC winning team. This is a potential college football playoff winning team. They're deep, they're loaded, they've got everything, man. And the defense is getting better. We got to see that. They made Mizzou one-dimensional. But I'm such an emotional picker. And I feel like 3 years in a row sounds nice, don't it? It sounds nice. We're starting a new dynasty here. There's a new dad in town coming to Tuscaloosa. Give me Tennessee, 38. Alabama, 35. Big upset. Roll Tide.
So yeah, I mean that could be, man, that would be a hell of a game. You know,
Yeah.
You're thinking back and forth and high scoring. Yeah, I mean that'd be a lot of fun.
I feel like what's going to happen if it goes the way I want it, a couple scores early. So maybe a 14-0, 21-3 type game, and then you're not playing keep away. Please, God, don't let Josh Heupel play keep away. But slowly but surely Alabama is going to get back into this thing, and it may come down to the fourth quarter, and I just hope Tennessee at that point is able to keep it away from them.
Yeah. Got to start fast for the Vols. You know
yes,
what?
absolutely.
You get down early with this crowd on the road.
Yeah.
It's going to be lights out. But I was kind of bouncing over here when you said Bama looks like the best team in the nation. This was almost like someone predicted that. You know, everybody forgets that. Everybody forgets the one you hit. They just mock you for the ones you missed. But be that as it may. Yeah, I think for this one, Shane, it's going to be critical that Tennessee can get after Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way to rattle this guy. The way he's playing football right now, he may be your Heisman Trophy front runner right now. And I would have no problem if he wins it the way, at least if they gave it at this point in time, which they obviously don't. But, I think he's right up there in the conversation. Mm-hmm. And he's another guy where, like, hell, everybody, except for Stephen Up, said, Ty Simpson. How can Alabama do these great things with Ty Simpson as quarterback? We got Keelan Russell, the 5-star. That was the conversation. At what point does Russell take over? You ain't going to even hear his name the next, 2 months because Ty Simpson's on fire. But also, who's on fire, Shane, is old Joey Aguilar. The gunslinger. And what do you need to do to compete in football games like this, Shane, against Alabama on the road? You need a quarterback that is damn fearless.
Yeah.
The opposite of what I was talking about with old Jackson Arnold. Would you rather have Joey Aguilar or Jackson Arnold? I don't care that Joey Aguilar's thrown a couple picks. What I do care about is he's thrown a shit ton of bombs on people's head, and he's got 3 of the best receivers statistically in the Southeastern Conference, 3 of the top 7, I believe, in Brazel, who I think is the best individual receiver in the conference. Mike Matthews and Staley are having good days. But and then you flip it back to Bama, though.
Yeah.
Buddy, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton, and old Fingernails. That when you're just talking pure talent, I think those guys are even better than Tennessee's trio. So I think you're right. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Heupel, he gets up for these big ones, Shane.
Yeah.
And when you count Tennessee out, that's when they come and bite you right in the ass. And I think you got this one right. Come on. Give me Tennessee 21. Give me Alabama 38. Come on. Alabama's whooping Tennessee's ass. I don't even think it's going to be competitive in the second half.
Mike, we've known each other too long, and I know exactly where you were going 3 sentences in. So, obviously there could be a moment that I'm sitting second quarter in this game like, what was I thinking? What the hell? What was I thinking? I've done that with Alabama's. I've done it with Georgia's. There's been moments you're just like, what? Yes, I want it to happen, but what was I really thinking? Alabama is playing so good, so real good. But what if they don't? What if they haven't been tested offensively like Tennessee Vols can? Can they keep up? So
yeah, I
don't know, man. I think this is going to be a really, really good football game, one way or the other.
Matt says I'm just trying to avoid the devil because of
team player. Thank you, cuz.
Hey, I missed this donation. Shout out. Howdy and saw him off, Shane. Guys, the expectation at LSU, remember we were talking about Brian Kelly, was for Kelly to have a championship by now.
Yep.
Come on. I know that's the expectations with Mike Elko at A&M. Hell yeah. I think he makes a great point. That's what he said, right? When he took the job. I'm down here to win a championship. They haven't sniffed one. And they had the best quarterback in the last 5 years in college football. And there he is.
No, they're pumped up. They're pumped up, man.
All right, final one here, Shane. Game of the week, college game day in town for Ole Miss. On the road, undefeated Rebels at mighty Georgia, Shane. The Dogs favored by 7.5 points at home. Over under 54.5 total points. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ABC. College game day. The world of college football has descended on Athens. Who do you got in the ball game?
Oh man, Mike. Sorry about the canines here. They got
The dogs are
They
there.
got dropped on me. I'm like, what happened? So kid's wife must have left or something. So, Mike, this is a game. I haven't Morristown Honda'd one yet, so you know it's coming, right? So I go back and forth, and I thought in my mind, Georgia is going just because they got embarrassed last year by this football team, by a backup quarterback that didn't even get to keep the job, at Ole Miss currently. I felt like Kirby Smart was going to make this one, and he is going to make this a priority, right? But golly, man, I tell you what, Georgia's a tough watch anymore, and I hate to say it. I feel like they've got the talent, they've got the roster to just beat the brakes off football teams, but they're just not doing it for some reason. And Ole Miss is, right? Yeah, I know it was a little embarrassing last week because you were looking ahead and a fiery Lane Kiffin in the locker room, got me pumped back up. I said, you know what? Maybe they do got a shot. And I don't think Ole Miss has got an elite defense like they did last year, and I feel like Georgia can exploit that. However, Trinidad, you had him up there earlier. If there was a chance, if there was a moment this kid catches fire, I don't think there's a chance that Gunner and company can keep up. So I've got to pick a winner, got to pick a loser. I'll go Georgia 28, Ole Miss 27. Lane Kiffin goes for 2 and misses it.
Hey, let me ask you this. If Ole Miss wins,
Yes.
what about Trinidad? Is he the favorite for the Heisman?
This is a Heisman moment because people will
Right.
be watching it. I saw that little that thing came out showing how many people watch all these football games. This one's going to be toward the top of that list. So if everybody's watching it and Trinidad is the reason that Georgia gets the win, absolutely, you talk about a front runner.
Shout out David Chambers, Shane, cousin David. Hotty toddy. Ole Miss leaves Athens with a great win. Beat the hell out of Georgia, 34-27. Here's the thing, Shane, because I've been obviously thinking about this game
Yeah.
all week. How about this stat, Shane? This blew my mind. There's a lot of weird Georgia stats out there.
Yeah.
In their last 10 games, they've only led at halftime one time. What? Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts.
This is mighty Georgia.
Time out. Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
And the only one they were leading was a couple weeks ago against Kentucky.
Yeah.
The rest, they've been losing at halftime.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Which is just insane. But I think that goes to show that I almost think there's more questions about Georgia than there are Ole Miss in this matchup. Is that crazy?
No, not at all.
I think Ole Miss has proven who they are. I think Georgia, we still don't know. I mean, they get down in all these games, but there's something to be said for fighting back and finding a way to win. They're like the opposite of Hugh Freeze. They never give up. They don't make excuses. They fight their ass off till the very end. And it won them games like Tennessee and Auburn, and it damn near won them Alabama too. So, there's not going to be any quit in this team. I don't think you could blow this team out by any means. But I do think if Ole Miss jumps on them, I think that could be the story of the year in the SEC. Is man, Shane? Imagine Ole Miss going into Athens and not eliminating Georgia because they'd only have 2 losses, but put it more or less exposing Georgia as a pretender in the Southeastern Conference, and Ole Miss would be I think in the driver's seat to not only win the conference, but maybe the national championship, Shane. That's what we got on the line here in Athens on Saturday night. Here's the problem, though, Shane. Here's the problem. Georgia's elite defending the run.
Yeah.
Elite. And I think that's the key. I know we give Kiffin, which we should give him credit as like a quarterback whisperer, but it's all just like Heupel. It's dependent on the ground game.
Yes.
And if Ole Miss can't run the football with Lacey, who's outstanding, but if they can't run it to the degree they want to, then it forces Trinidad to win him this football game. And I'm not saying he can't, but that's a big step up, Shane, from Old Ferris State to beating Georgia in Athens.
Yeah.
I like Kirby and company, and we almost have the same score, Shane. Georgia, 29. Ole Miss 20, and I can't believe you said that, Shane, because I swear I'm not ripping off you.
Yeah.
I was going to say Kirby goes for 2 and gets it. Georgia and them dogs win by 1 point. They get gutsy at the end here. So I don't know how it happens, but yeah, give me Georgia by 1.
Get your popcorn ready. This is going to be a good one, man. And it could be a game that we see again. We're getting to that point where we're going to have some of these games that, hey, this wouldn't blow my mind if we saw them in the playoffs against each other or the SEC championship. And, take note, because who wins the second go round? You know what I'm saying? So this is a big, big game, but I bet Lane Kiffin has got a list right now. It's LSU. It used to be Bama. It's LSU now. It's Georgia, Bama, maybe Tennessee. Tennessee, then Bama. That's kind of like his games of importance. And it feels like during those games, Ole Miss plays a little bit better. You remember I had that interview with Garcia, and we talked about Spurrier, and he says, you better believe there was a little extra pep in his step on that Florida week. So some of these games mean a little more detail during the week, and I feel like that's exactly what happened to Ole Miss last week. We got caught looking ahead, but you got through there, and now you have an opportunity to show the country that, hey, Ole Miss is playing right now. So it could go either way. It's going to be a great football game. Can't wait to watch it.
And so here's the picks this week from our celebrity cousin, Shane. Yeah. Letters to God. Shout out Michael DeJesus here. And again, he's taking some swings here. So I'm going to read them as he wrote them to me, Shane. He's got Oklahoma 27, the Angry Beamers 10. So blowout he's got down there. A&M 34, Arkansas 31. I could get on board with that. Florida 27, Mississippi State 14. That's interesting. And shout out Letters to God, his first one that's done a Morristown Honda, Shane. Vanderbilt 21, LSU 20. No confidence, he says. That's his Morristown Honda. Mizzou getting beat by a touchdown, Shane. He's right there with you. He likes Auburn 24-17, and that's his lock of the week, he says. Texas beats Kentucky, he calls them, 21-13. Georgia, he's got 27. Ole Miss 24, and good old Rocky Top 30, Alabama 27. So shout out Letters to God. I told you he's taking some swings.
Yeah.
That's going to be great for the Cousins, or it's going to be a nightmare for them.
Well, I was looking at mine. It's pretty much the same except for the LSU Vandy game. So they probably got that right. Watch him get perfect. Him get perfect.
I didn't see you show this.
Yeah, I just posted it.
Okay.
Lock of the week. Sorry, Billy. It's been fun, but you got to go after this ass kicking you're about to give.
Wait, so you're saying, are you locking Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Andy's getting fired?
Oh, yeah, he's getting fired. This is classic Jimbo Fisher. What was it, Mississippi State?
Yeah?
Yeah, he gets that win, and everybody knows, and then at the end of the game, he's fired.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Billy's gone. Sorry. They're not going to have a parade because you beat Mississippi State, a team that hasn't won an SEC game in 2 years.
Hey, shout out Gavin. Road Tide, Cousins. Good luck to the Vols. And he also says, he did it again. Road Tide, it's official third week in October. Going to be a shootout. He likes Bama, 38, Tennessee, 27.
That's the thing, man. This is a shout out to Marler. It's a very streaky series. And if you look in the history, I mean, naturally you think of Saban and the 12, 13-year run, or maybe it was longer than that. I don't know. But when you look at, there were some other streaks that Tennessee had, and I don't know, man, it could happen. We're already at 2. 3's considered a streak, is it not? So
Yeah.
And if they do, I'll streak. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, shout out Luis Shane. He says Georgia won't be able to keep up with Ole Miss. It's going to be belt to ass, or you never saw this comment. So, and then I've been keeping up with these Shades. So I've been doing them live. So I didn't want them to think we were not paying attention. But I want to give a couple shout outs here, Shane.
Yes.
Always showing up for them boys in Tuscaloosa. It's Steven Up. Roll Tide.
Thank you, Steven Up. He gifted Shane to Yanker Perez. Yanker.
Welcome to the family.
And then the legend.
Cousin JR has done it again.
He gifted to Will Ryans. Will, welcome
to the family.
And then ZOV gifted Greg. Welcome to the family. Jeffrey Gosnell, he gifted Zombie Stomp. Zombie, welcome to the family. SEC Sean, our other cousin, gifted Keegan A. Chandler. Keegan, welcome to the family. All right, I think I got them all there, Shane.
Hell yeah. Welcome, family. Welcome. I like it. Everyone said roll tide when Shane threatened to streak. Oh, geez.
All right, hey, last thing we like to do, storylines. What will be the storylines if the games play out the way you think they will?
Man, I feel like Tennessee should be a storyline, but
Yeah.
let me look here. Let me look
Tennessee
real quick.
making the playoff with a win.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. Billy's going to be in the news regardless. Just my opinion.
Okay. See,
but
I think they're keeping him. I think they're keeping him if he wins.
maybe
I don't know where that's coming from.
maybe Hugh Freeze, right? Auburn
Yeah.
gets a big win, a ranked win.
Yeah.
Where does Mizzou go from here? Type deal. So, I feel like a miracle on the plains. Finally got a call. Something like that. Maybe that's the in my opinion, big win for them.
I think old LSU, Shane, if they lose, like I'm picking, they're going to start wondering, can we get James Franklin? That's one right there. I think Hugh, again, I got him losing.
Yeah.
I think his ass could be grass there. Mm-hmm. Maybe they hold on to him for a little while longer, but let him get, because they could get some momentum.
Yeah.
But a loss, I don't think they got much of a shot to get much more. I mean, who the hell cares? You're beating Arkansas and Kentucky. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be pretty big. And Georgia, I still don't know what to make of Georgia, but that would be one hell of a win. Can they keep it up if they're the cardiac dogs out there? I know that's a dangerous spot to be in. You know what?
Oh, Liquid has a good question, Mike.
Uh-huh.
If Kentucky beats Texas, is there any emergency podcast games that you're looking at?
So many.
Obviously Kentucky.
Yeah. I think State, because we'll just say goodbye to Billy at that point in time. Arkansas beating A&M.
What about South Carolina beating Oklahoma?
Well, I mean, I picked it, so
Yeah.
I'll be happy to jump on and brag. But I think that'd be pretty big, and I think Tennessee beating Bama.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you light up a cigar.
Jeez, I'm thinking about maybe I should do the watch party for that one. Yeah. The emotional roller coaster of the third Saturday in October. I'm not saying I'm going to, but I'm leaning to. I'm going to be watching it,
What happens if Arkansas, A&M, and Vanderbilt win?
Man.
I could see it.
Do you think there's a chance that nah, there's not good besides Billy, right? That's the one we're all talking about. Only Hugh Freeze is the only other one that's potentially on the hottest of hot seats, right?
You're saying
Like, can anybody else get fired this week? Is what I'm getting at.
right? Oh, Hugh Freeze,
Yeah.
Billy.
Right.
That's probably it.
Still, yeah. Okay. All right. I just like to hear it. I like to talk one more fired coach in the college football landscape.
Hey, they just put out the injury report.
Yes.
So I'm going through it real quick to see anybody big
Jam.
time. Good news for Mississippi State. Their outstanding safety, Isaac. I did that last time. Isaac Smith probable, so he's good to go. As is their left tackle Albert Reese. So not good for old Billy. Fluff is out. That is good for old Billy. You asked about old Jam. Let's go down to Jam. He's playing, Shane. He's probable.
Oh,
so
good.
yeah, they've really so for his safety, they should hold him out. But good news for you, Deshaun Bishop probable.
Yeah.
So we got 2 elite running backs.
I didn't want to beat them, and they'd be like, "Well, if we had Jam, So
I'm trying to see if there's any others. That's about it for the big ones. Let me see LSU real quick because I know Whit Weeks, that was one. Also, I think it was the same as yesterday, but Georgia's offensive lineman Ernest Green and Juan Gaston both probable, so that's good news.
yeah,
South Carolina, I think it was the same as yesterday, but Gabe Brownrow Dindy, the defensive lineman, and defensive back Brandon Cisse, they're both probable, so that's great news. LSU linebacker Whit Weeks remains questionable. That's huge because that's one of their best players. So, that's your updated SEC injury report.
Oh, cousin Clem, big Boomer Sooner. This will be my first time seeing my Sooners play in person. I'm stationed out here in Fort Jackson, Columbia, South Carolina, as a drill sergeant. Boomer Sooner, let's go! Come on, Clem.
Hey, you should give him information. Well, I don't know if you have it, but information of where the Flying Hawaiian. He's gonna be there.
He'll be tailgating there. I've been to that sweet spot too. They're right by the stadium. It's a good spot. So,
can you give him any information beyond that?
It's on the right side.
I mean, it's near the stadium. Is like okay.
Dude, I was drinking the whole time. I have no idea. It's not near the caboose thing, but man, that congratulations, and hopefully, if my prediction goes right, you'll get to see a win there. Thank you for your service, brother.
Yeah, thank you, and enjoy the game. All right, anything else, buddy?
No, JP.
Shane's questionable for the next spot.
Yes, sir. No, I look forward to. Hey, have a wild weekend. We're halfway through the season. Let's soak it up. Let's have some fun. And I like that. It wasn't separation. He said breakaway. Letters of God, he said breakaway Saturday. That may be the case. We may have some teams breaking away. JP, appreciate you breaking out the list. Today's shout out goes to Michael Raleigh, Stephen Up, Tolga, Cousin JR, Zoe, Jeffrey Gosnell, Rolls Royce, SEC Sean, Howdy and Saw 'em Off, Dave Chambers, Gavin Kane, and Cat John Nice. Thank you, cousins, and thank you, JP.
Thank you. All right, buddy. I think that's going to do it for this episode. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we hope to see you next time. Until then, we'll see you hopefully tomorrow.
See you guys. Go Vols. Come on, baby.
Hey, buddy, this beer's for you, Mike, and Cousin Shane. That SEC podcast loves the Pirate, and the Pirate loves that SEC podcast. Hail State.